This weekend, Ryan is upgrading trees, Andy is serving slushies, and it all ends with us playing with our balls again. I'm Ryan.
I'm Andy.
And this is Weekend Rental, episode 217. Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back for another one. Andy, how you been doing since the last time we recorded?
Oh, same old, same old. Pretty busy stuff going on. I'm pining for a weekend of nothing going on.
Oh man, that sounds like a dream to me too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, luckily we're coming up on the season where there's nothing going on weekends, so, I guess you'll have plenty of free time over November and December.
Yeah. We pretty much got our Christmas shopping done.
Wow.
This is like the first, I mean, we're like a month early than we usually are.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had to worry about that because this is like we were talking before the show. My son just turned 12, so that was like you get a phone year, and then the other kid gets a big gift year, and it's all like one thing. So basically, on their birthdays, they get a birthday, Christmas combined gift. So essentially, we are done too. So
that's pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for my wife, I got a big old bag of coal, so it's perfect. And for me, I'm sure it's an enema. So. Yeah, it's crazy how fast this fall went by, and now we're in the holidays already. Like I can't wrap my head around next Thursday being Thanksgiving already. Like I was at work today and I had to reschedule a couple meetings because I was like, oh shit, like that's Thanksgiving already. Like I guess I need to redo those. It explains why everyone's calendar was open. So
yeah, yep. And then it seems really late for Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah.
As far as in November itself.
Yeah.
And then our family has tuned up our Christmas party up to like middle of December. So now it just December just becomes the holidays from like Thanksgiving all the way through the end of the year. It's just like constant.
Right. But then that means you get a low-key Christmas at the end of the month, right? With just you guys for the most part. And
yep.
That's always nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been the big hot topic here, too, is because, like, with the new house, we have, like, the lofted second level. So, of course, that means, like, we must get a massive Christmas tree that encompasses, like, the 20-foot ceiling. And, like, so it's been this whole, like, what's the biggest Christmas tree you can buy? And it's, like, pretty much like 10 foot is like what most places max at, and then if you want to go to like say 14 or something, it's like, well, do you want to drop $1,100 on a tree? So I think we've settled on Menards has a 12-foot tree, and we're going to be very rich in Menards like rebates here pretty soon, so I think we're going to go with that. And then I was like, I'll just build like a base for it so it's a couple feet taller. And yeah, my wife is very excited about that. So
that's
but we're waiting to decorate until after Thanksgiving, unlike you sickos out there who already have decorations and lawn ornaments up. That's blasphemy. So, just saying.
Oh, I know. Isn't that... It's crazy. I
was on a conference call today, and Liddy's like bragging about like, well, I already got my Christmas decorations up. Like,
oh,
you're
gosh.
the devil. Like, what are you doing?
You should just be taking your Halloween stuff down.
100%. Yeah, that rotten pumpkin should have just gotten thrown away today.
Yep.
Like a real American. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
my wife has been.
Oh, go ahead.
My wife has been threatening about getting a second Christmas tree for the basement, and I'm not on board. I think you can only have one.
I think I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Andy. I think if you have a separate living space and it's not in your main living room, I think you're allowed to have a second tree. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you need to decorate it and or put it up, but I think it's allowed. So,
this might be the first episode that doesn't go live.
Amanda, do it. Get that second tree. You deserve it. Yeah, we've done the even in our smaller house, we've done the upper tree and lower tree. Like, there's always like the main Christmas tree, but like, I don't know, it's kind of nice to have the second one. We also have cats though, so it's like wherever you put an unsupervised tree just means like chaos every day you go down there and see it the next morning. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'tis the season though. I mean, it is crazy though. It's like we're gonna be like basically decorating in December. Usually get that like full last week of November to be doing Christmas stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely a strange year for that.
Yeah, I've
And
been
I think it
having.
was,
Oh, go ahead.
well, the weather's just been so nice
Oh
that it
yeah,
doesn't feel like fall either. So,
yeah. They were threatening snow today, but it didn't even get like close to being cold enough.
hmm
I've been having a fun week on my new commute home. So like I take a different interstate exit now, and then like it's a street, but I just kind of refer to it as a frontage road to get to my house. So I take it on Monday when I come home for lunch, right? And then I'm driving like 30, right? In most places, I would assume city streets are 25 miles an hour. So I'm going fast already. And I look behind me, and there is an SUV like less than 2 feet off my bumper, right? I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here? Like, what's this person's deal? So then I do like the thing and like naturally just like let off the gas a little because I'm annoyed. Because if I'd have hit the brakes, they'd have rear-ended me. So I'm at like 25 then, and then this person like peels out around me and passes me on a city street, and then drives like 40 yards ahead of me and takes a left into a cul-de-sac. So I'm like, all right, like where's the fire? Like you could maybe forgive somebody, like maybe they got a call that their like kid glued their face to the oven or something. I don't know, but I was like, that is stupid and needless. And anyway, so the next day, Tuesday, I come to lunch again, and I'm crossing the overpass over to interstate to get to this frontage road, and out of my rearview mirror I see the same gray SUV, and they're booking it, and they're like trying to pass me on an inside lane, which isn't going to work, and I know it's not going to work because there's traffic there and we're coming up to a stoplight. So I was like, God, this person's just like straight up a psycho. This wasn't like a one-time thing. So then we get to the next corner in the road we need to turn on. Well, there's a gas station on the corner, and I see this person pull. They're behind me. They pull through the gas station, try to race through the gas station parking lot and cut in front of me, which they don't do. Like it takes them longer. And then they're behind me again, instantly riding my ass. So then at this point, I'm like, fuck you. And I just start like, so I start driving in the middle of the road so they can't get around me. And we get to like probably, I'm going to say 30 feet from where they need to take a left. And this person tries to gun it and pass me on the inside. And so I just swerved back and ran into the curb. And then they like turned over. But I'm like, what was going to happen if you passed me on the inside? Because you would have already been at your turn and you would have had to like basically let me T-bone you. So I'm just like, yep. This person's now like my mortal enemy. And I know which address is theirs because I've driven by and looked where they parked. And I think I'm going to just send them like a no return address letter, just like telling them they're terrible humans and that they suck at life and shouldn't be driving. So that's my plan for now. I might get a dash cam. Today I had the phone ready. Like it was in my cup holder, like ready to like film this person being a psychopath, but I didn't see him sadly. But
do they know that you live nearby? Do you think? Or
I don't know, but I mean, I can't imagine this is the last time I will encounter them either, because clearly we have a very similar schedule. So it's just, I don't understand some people. Even
I can't. Yeah, every day doing that. That's
right.
Crazy.
Right. That's the thing. Is like I can excuse somebody driving crazy once. Like maybe there's a reason. Like maybe your wife's in labor. Like I don't know, but clearly they're just like awful human beings and terrible drivers. And I'm just like calculating the math in my head. I'm like, even if I wasn't in front of you from the time we both turned, you're adding like 10 seconds of value back to your life and putting everyone else at risk. You know, there's like kids on this street and I don't know.
In general, I mean, city driving, you're really not gaining much, right?
No.
Like doing any of that. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Cutting through gas stations, like that's like video game stuff. That's like what?
And like it was obvious it wasn't going to save them any time because it's literally longer to cut through the gas station than to just take the damn road. So like I don't know, man. Like it's pretty wild. I was just like shaking my head, like I couldn't believe it. So that's been fun.
Wow.
You know, new neighborhood joys. So
yeah, I can't wait to see what that escalates into.
Yeah. Nothing good for anybody. I'll tell you that right now. A gun to my throat, probably. Yeah. But in other news, have you been? Well, I'm actually curious in your first one because I saw it hit Game Pass also, and it has been high on my want list. So Pacific Drive, you dove into this, huh?
Yeah, talk about driving. This game is really kind of strange. It isn't what I thought it would be, I guess.
Okay.
It's a game where you drive a car and you have to fix this car. It's a survival game. So you're constantly fixing the tires, upgrading, the panels on your car, that type of stuff. And then you go out on the road into like these kind of sections of this Pacific Northwest areas that are kind of like affected with a whole bunch of anomalies, right?
Okay.
And you basically drive through them, and then gather some energy balls, basically, and then you are able to open up new paths and you go farther and farther. And then it gets weirder and weirder. Crazier stuff happens. And then you go back and then you take all the resources you've gained and upgrade things and do it again. So it's kind of a run
Wow.
based thing a little bit.
I thought it was like an open world thing. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. And I've probably put over 10 hours into it. And I was having a lot of fun until you realize, and maybe I'm missing something because it seems like it should be, but does not seem like the case from what I Google it. Every time you go out on the run, you have to start from the garage that you are in.
Okay.
So you keep going deeper and deeper, and every run you're doing is taking that much longer to get to the checkpoint that you need to get to
Sure.
advance the story or whatever. And some of them are very annoying to get through. There's like certain like one of them major thing you do is get through a wall, and it's very confusing to like drive through this wall, and it's really tough. And then as soon as I did that and realized I would have to go, drive through five other maps just to get to this wall, and then get through
Sure.
the wall, and then you have more along the way to unlock. That part, I don't know. I'm feeling a little burnt out on that part. And I just wish there was like a fast travel that you could start at least at the
Sure.
wall, then.
Yeah, I guess I'd always been on the under the assumption that it was like an end to end journey. I didn't realize that it was going to make you like reset like that. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
Yep. So I don't know. I kind of fell off of that once I've every time you did it, it was like, well, you're just adding another 20 minutes to your run.
Sure.
And
And you're
then
seeing stuff you've
eventually,
seen before, right?
right. And the resources and stuff that you're gathering in the kind of the first few junctions or whatever really don't matter anymore because you've upgraded the stuff for that.
Sure.
And a lot of the scavenging stuff kind of for resources really just kind of doesn't end up paying off anyway. It's kind of like one of those things where you play a Skyrim thing and you're like in the first few towns you're looking through everything and like gathering
Sure.
everything, right?
Yeah.
And then by the end of it you're just like you're just skipping everything. That's kind of what this is you realize like, oh, you're just floating in a lot of these resources, so why even bother
Right.
checking every trunk, like getting out of your car and checking every trunk of every car on the road.
Oh, that's disappointing. I had in my head it was a much different game because like it looks so cool and like part of it too is like the like paranoia meter, right? Like you kind of like slowly lose your mind and like the effects and like the scares and stuff get worse as you are out there longer. Is that kind of the case?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if it's something like that or if it's like because you are gathering some certain energies that all the anomalies are converging toward you
Okay.
or something. But yeah, there's eventually there's some stuff that just like there's five things just going on all at the same time, and it's kind of crazy to try and escape.
Sure.
The one thing it is kind of cool when you finally do get to an end point where you don't have any junctions unlocked. What you do is you gather all the energy balls in the area, and then you open a portal basically. And usually the portal's on the other side of the map,
Okay.
and then there's like a storm circle that once you open that portal, the storm circle starts converging toward that portal, and you have to drive to the portal before the storm circle comes.
Sure.
Otherwise, you get just your car becomes useless and damaged and a whole bunch of stuff. And that part's kind of fun.
Sure.
Just be a mad dash across the whole map.
Well, I'm glad this one had Game Pass on because like I'd been like hovering over it on Steam, but that doesn't sound like something that I'd put a ton of time into either. Knowing that now.
Yeah, it's really deliberate. It's really slow, I would say.
Okay.
It, yeah, somebody I when I googled it, like is there fast travel or whatever, and basically the people said no, this is like Escape from Tarkov, but you're in a
Sure.
car. And I'm like, okay, this
Uh,
makes more sense, and this is not my type of game.
yeah.
Then.
Once you said that, now I'm like, nah, nah. Well, that's too bad. I mean, the aesthetic of it looks really cool, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. Like I beat this one level with the walls, and even a lot of the other achievements I'm getting, it comes up as like the super rare achievements that only like 3% of people are accomplishing. I'm
So
like,
people are falling off early,
nobody's
is what you're
playing.
saying.
Yeah, nobody's
Yeah.
playing this game.
Huh. That's too bad because like it seemed like it at least on Steam it had kind of an early buzz for sure, but I mean I don't know
Hmm.
when it hit Xbox. Well, it just hit Game Pass now, which is well over a year after it came out. So yeah, I saw there's like another game on there that's not in that same art style, but it seems similar. I forget what it was called. I was looking at the preview of it where it's like a survival horror game driving along like the coast too. It looks like it's a 2D like top down like old GTA almost.
Okay.
I'll have to look at Game Pass again, but I was like, that seems like something I should try also. So yeah, I haven't gamed much since. I've been busy doing other stuff. I did play some more Bollocks Pit. I think I'm done with that game. I like it. It's just I've sunk enough hours into it to be like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
I started to play Power Wash Simulator 2, but I think I've just like I'm burning burning candles at both ends. So it's like I put that on and like 3/4 through that opening tutorial level of that van, I was just like basically falling asleep playing it. And I was like, all right, I need to be more like energized to jump back into this. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is more of that game for sure.
Oh yeah.
Still liked it. I need to not be tired all the time to play a game like that because it is overly comforting and monotonous and tedious. So.
And well, some of them are very long. I mean, we just end up beating it this last weekend,
Sure.
and with the two of us playing with split screen, like there's ones that take a good hour
Oh, I'm sure.
just with two people, and I don't remember any of them that long. I mean, it would, assuming it's almost double the time then, if it's
Yeah.
only one person doing it.
I mean, I remember that some of them getting well over 30 minutes for sure. I feel like that van took me like 40 minutes though on my own, which seemed
Okay, yeah.
excessive. But that might have just been because I was getting used to the mechanics again too. It's like
Hmm.
once you get in the zone in that game, like you kind of understand like where you need to focus more. But yeah, get a lot of achievements then for beating it all the way through.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty good. There's some pretty good levels in there that have a little bit more interactivity in it,
There's like
which
creatures and people or what?
just like different things you can do in them as you wash, things happen,
Okay,
which is a little bit. There's a little bit more reactivity to, things getting clean, and then a new area will pop up that you have to clean or something like that,
sure.
which is kind of cool. But I think I enjoyed it more than the first one. It's funny because at first we were soaping everything because everything is, I mean, soap is free. You don't have to
Yeah,
pay for soap, and it's not. In the old one, I think you had to like. It was even like there's a metal soap and there's a plastic soap, and things that depending on the type of material it was even. So we used a lot of soap, and then by the end of the game, when you have all your stuff upgraded, you can just like blast the ceiling with a wide path with because you have just this huge long extension,
sure,
and there's no reason to have soap anymore at the end of the
sure.
game. And it's funny because I watched a video of somebody playing the first few levels again, and it's like, wow, was it really that hard? Or like it took that long to, because in the last few hours you're just, it's amazing how much ground you can cover in such little time
Sure.
with the equipment that you upgrade. But
Yeah, I know. Like that first level, like I kept getting pissed off because it was like, why are the windows not clean? And then I was like, oh, I need to like spray them with soap and change the nozzle, and then like,
mm,
yeah, it was tedious. And then the whole belly crawl thing to like get the hard spots, but
hmm
yeah, yeah, I'll sink more time into it. I just, well, for one thing, I need to get my Xbox Series X over here so I can install it and then do two-player split screen. I think would help because I just did
hmm
cloud on my Fire Stick, which is even on a game like that less than optimal because like sometimes it really lags out.
yep.
So I think split screen would help. But other than that, I did watch the new Witcher series, which I'd imagine is probably getting polarizing reviews. You know, you either liked it or you hated it because they recast the main actor for Geralt, which I'll admit is hard to get used to. I think it helps that the main protagonists all have separate stories this season, so not seeing them together is a little less jarring when you're introducing a
Okay.
replacement for the main character. Once you get a couple episodes in, though, like you just kind of adapt to it. It's not like Hemsworth is bad. He's maybe more like personable in his tone of playing this character than the previous actor was. And they do some good stuff. Like I think the story is actually really good. Like it's on. I mean, again, I'm sure the internet has wildly different opinions on this, but like I think the story and the writing is just as strong as it was in the previous three seasons. They left it on a cliffhanger again, so whether or not we get more and see a resolution of the story, I
Mm.
don't know. And they kind of do like a fun thing in the middle where it's almost like a fellowship sort of vibe, like where he's got like a couple dwarfs and like a human friend and like a vampire friend, and it feels a lot like you're watching like the Fellowship form for like an episode or two, and that's
Hmm.
kind of cool to see. And everyone gets like a backstory, but a lot of gruesome gore too. Like they really like, not that the series up to this point wasn't into that, but like there's just like visceral like ripping shit to shreds, which is pretty awesome and distracts from the fact that like that's not the Geralt I remember from the other seasons. I I would encourage people to watch it. Like give it a chance. Like you do eventually get past the fact that it's not the guy you're used to, but I don't think it makes it a worse story. I do think though that the numbers are probably going to be way down on this episode or this season because of that, but I still really liked it.
I That's, yeah, that's good to hear because I do need some push to watch it because I definitely have fallen off of it
Mm-hmm.
at its peak when they were I made that kind of spin-off show which wasn't great,
Right. And the anime.
and then the anime, and then last season I felt like half of it was just at a party
Yeah.
the whole time, and then so I really was not, and then yeah, the cherry on top of obviously recasting,
Yeah.
it's been a real struggle to be get excited about it to the point where I even like the game, I'm like, Witcher 4, I don't know,
Yeah.
like that's crazy, like I should be very excited about the new game,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so telling me, you saying that it's really really good, then
It's
yeah,
as good as
I'm
anything
gonna
else they
watch
put
it.
out. Yeah, and I think like
Okay.
this might be the rare instance where like the new form of like how shows get made was beneficial, because I think like that elongated gap of like from the previous season to this one helps ease into the fact that Geralt has changed as like the actor. Whereas like if this was traditional TV, you'd had like a 3 month gap, we'd have been back, right? And it would have felt a little
Right.
more jarring. Where this gives you a little bit of time to get kind of foggy. He's not as good. I mean, Hemsworth is just not as good, but he's still very serviceable. And he pulls off the role well. And again, I think the story and the action and the three divergent storylines that are all very action filled really helps kind of distract from that. So I wish my
Sure.
only complaint is that like I wish the season had ended with me feeling like it accomplished anything, but like it just didn't push the story to like any meaningful like resolution, which is fine assuming we get a season 5. But that's a big assumption, right? Like Netflix shit can shows all the time, so
Yes. Yeah. And
less
that's
sex in this one,
he.
which is disappointing.
Well, yeah, that's the Game of Thrones thing, right?
Right.
Eventually, they start toning it down, which you know you think about when I think about it, maybe that was the last time that I was really excited about a new show coming out or a new season was the last Game of Thrones, and I got really burnt on that, and I
Yeah.
feel like I have not had a show since then that's been like I've been like
All the way
counting the
through.
days until it releases, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
I
certainly
mean,
ones that I'll watch, but it's
you're not super hyped for the conclusion of adult Stranger Things season 5? 25 year
right.
olds?
Talk about a gap between seasons maybe doesn't help a show
Yeah.
quite as much. That one's yeah, I don't know. I'll watch it and I guess I'll probably be excited about it, but at the end of the day I feel like there's so many more people more hyped about that show than I am,
Yeah.
where I'm like, yeah, it's better than your average supernatural episode, but it's not like I'm going to make this my lifestyle and think about it
No.
for 2 years straight.
Well, God, you go to Target, and like right now, Target has like 2 full aisles just dedicated to Stranger Things. Like there's toys, there's like the radio station vinyl with the soundtrack, like jackets. I'm like I want to see this through too, but my hype train for this peaked at like season 3.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I feel like every year it just kind of there's not enough of it to really flesh out enough of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just kind of keep saying that, well, this is the storyline now.
Yeah.
Keep up type thing.
I'm gonna be curious on the tone, right? Because like every season has followed like a tone of like the horror genre, like where arguably you could say we started out like Goonies, and then by season 3 we were at like slasher flicks. Like what? Like are we going to be in for like torture porn, like Saw and Hostel stuff, or like what is the
Hmm.
overall tone in this now? Hopefully it's something completely unique, but they've always gone for like an aesthetic vibe of like a certain era of horror, I feel like, and I don't know what they do with this one. I'm sure it will
Hmm.
be fine though. They've had 2.5 years. I mean, God, it's been 2.5 years, right? Or at least two since season 4.
It's been a while, yeah.
I mean,
And like, yeah, like you said, they're not even close to kids anymore at this point.
no, no. Millie Bobby Brown's married to a Bon Jovi and adopting kids, and she's a grown ass woman. She doesn't need to be 11 anymore.
No.
I'm curious on slushies. Is this the beverage or is this a game? Or what are we talking about here?
Uh, I but I'm an owner of a slushy machine now.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, this was popped up on a deal site or whatever. It was like the 700. It's normally $700 and it's only $100. It's like a near professional grade slushy machine. You got to buy that.
Are we talking
It
like
has to be.
gas station 7-Eleven, like it's always swirling the slushy thing and you pull the top
Yep.
down? Okay. So in your home
Yep.
right now, you just have a slushy machine running with like constant slush in it?
Yeah. I mean, you have to you you put stuff in it, and then it runs for about an hour, and it gets to that consistency. And yeah, it's
Okay.
that thing, and you dump it out. You could run it all day long for sure, and just have it there.
Okay.
But usually we just try and get through what we can of it, throw away the rest or whatever, but clean it out.
I love that your justification is just that it's so discounted I have to own it.
Well, yeah, it's a good investment at that point.
Yeah. You
You're
gonna have the
buying the
kids set up
dip.
at the end of the driveway now next summer with the slushy machine and
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
run
Talk
like a
about
400-foot extension cord?
Yep. First, you find the lemonade stands that are doing well, and then you set up shop
Right
next
next
to
to
them
them.
with a slushy
Yeah.
machine.
I
Yep.
like it. Well, this can work
Then,
well if you and I hit the swap meet market to sell games because, like, we'll bring them in with the slushies and then sell them some games I don't want too.
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Nice. So does it come with like mixes and stuff, or you just have to like concoct your own like Kool-Aid slurry, or how does this work?
Yep. It basically says anything with sugar, any
Nice.
sugar drink, you can. It works.
So like any beverage in America, pretty much tap water,
Pretty
pretty
much.
much.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Diet stuff, not so much. Does
Okay.
not work with diet because it needs the sugar to freeze or something. I
So
don't know.
what are the greatest hits that you've tried so far?
Probably the one my son on his birthday here yesterday. He wanted to try cherry Pepsi,
Okay.
and that wasn't too
Remember
bad.
that? Yeah.
There's something with those that you kind of like, without the carbonation, it just kind of tastes different. It still tastes good, but it's like, well, this doesn't taste quite right because you're
Yeah.
missing the bubbles. But we tried a strawberry daiquiri mix, and holy shit, that was way too sugary. That
Well, you gotta
was too
water down with
much.
the booze, Andy. Come on.
Yeah, I know. We definitely did some of that too, but it was still way too sweet. Holy cow! I don't know. Tried a couple other juices, stuff like that. So,
Nice.
but
Yeah, I'm always a big
still
fan of
getting the
like
hang of it.
the Coke slushies. So seems like that's
Yep.
when you got to do it. So, I mean, cherry Pepsi is pretty much there. So
Yep.
well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
it's not
just
too bad. I
need
mean, you just come home and instead of a beer, you just dump a 2 liter in the slushy machine.
ready for happy hour. Yeah, now you need that
Oh
like
boy.
soda fountain machine and like industrial popcorn machine. You're all set. Yeah, I like it. Let's go. What is the brand of this? Anything
Nostalgia, it's
Okay.
called. I think.
I was just wondering if it was like Cuisinart or something like weird. But
No.
huh. Well, when I finally get to your house and get to check it out, I expect a slushy. I'm telling you that right
Slushy.
now.
Yeah.
I'll bring the booze. You come up with the slushy. Mm-hmm. What else do we got? Well, let's talk about the big one. Well, at least to me, this is the big one. So, kind of out of nowhere, Valve was like, "Hey, we got a whole shitload of new hardware today. Check it out. The new Steam controller, which they're just calling the Steam controller, which is confusing. A new VR, which I'm just not. I probably won't talk a lot on because like it's cool that they're doing a revision of their VR. It seems a little soon. It's basically the MetaQuest 3, even in like the functionality of like how it will dongle and connect to your PC. Similar. I think that might be wireless too. I'm not sure. It's all
I
cool.
mean, the controllers look just like it too. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's all great, but like what I'm really curious on and kind of surprised by is like we're doing Steam machines again, and like their last go round of the Steam machine was like the introduction of Steam OS. So they launched it in a very different gaming landscape with a unproven OS and basically went the 3DO model of like here's the base specs, other manufacturers can make them. And they ranged as any PC would from like high end to low end, but their approach this time is we're manufacturing the Steam machines. There are two specs, which basically just differentiate in how much SSD you want to pay for up front. But keep in mind, these are PCs, so the SSD and the RAM and everything is fully upgradable on your own. And like they're just pushing it out like as like a full TV PC experience. Which I'm not gonna lie, kind of feels like what Xbox wants to do, and they're getting beat to the punch pretty handily, and potentially, if priced right, because let's be honest, next gen's gonna be we're talking $1,000 consoles. We're pretty much there with current gen. That's 5 years old.
Yeah.
Like this thing has the potential to be the easy entry point to people who are on the fence about like PC games. I mean, it is a PC at the end of the day, but like, I don't know. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I think I think there's some very tough conversations going on in the Microsoft headquarters about this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Considering all their strategy lately has been leading to this, and they're just like, oh, we're doing that too.
And you don't have to fuck with Windows. Great. Said everyone. You know what I mean?
Yep. I think it'll come down to price. Yeah,
Right.
because it's not going to be like a super powerhouse where
No.
the people that really like Steam gaming probably do enjoy being one up on consoles as far as performance and stuff.
Yeah.
And this isn't that. I'm guessing the bang for your buck is probably not going to be that great. But
Yeah. This feels like this is for the casual gamer market and not like the number crunching Steam crowd. This is for the people who just want to like pop into their cozy games or their indie. Like, don't get me wrong, this thing will still run most recent releases at a relatively solid like 30, I would imagine. You know, you're not going to get 4K, but yeah,
yeah,
because what was it, like 16 gigs of RAM, like custom AMD architecture. I suppose it's going to depend on like how well, you know, not everything runs on Steam OS. Most things do, but it's solid enough
yeah.
specs. It is like if you were buying like an $800 gaming PC is kind of what I feel like you're getting out of this.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably about right. I'm guessing it's probably in line kind of with current consoles, maybe a little bit better than that.
Yeah, I saw like I guess they've been hesitant from the people that have asked them like point blank like where does this sit on like the graphic spectrum, but it sounds like most analysts are like somewhere between like the Series S and like a PS5. It's like, you know, so it's like you're getting kind of like tail end of last gen, not quite the highest
Sure,
performance, you know, which sounds
sure.
reasonable.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, it's not going to be the biggest thing out there for sure, but I think
Yeah.
like you said, to just get something hooked up, I think it was good. I've not really done anything with Steam Deck before, so I don't know. But in the past, the hardware that I have had of Valve's, their old controller and their Steam
Yeah.
Link are are good for what they are, but it's just they're a little bit weird, right?
Right.
Like their big screen is just a little bit weird, and their controller is weird, and it's functional for what it is, but it's just a little bit off and weird. And I think if loves the Steam Deck, so it's probably not the same with that type of hardware. Maybe they've
Yeah.
nailed it, but I could see, and you know, like the last time they did Steam machines, the OS
Was not
was not
great.
good, like you said. Yeah,
Yeah. I think the beauty here is like presumably you can hook up any controller to this that you can pair to Bluetooth. So it's like you can have your Xbox, which is kind of the de facto, or like the 8-bit duos. Again, like they didn't announce price, and that's like the part that I understand why they didn't announce price because like in this current market, it's tough to nail that down. But there's been a couple leaks. The first one got me really excited, where they projected it would come in somewhere between like 450 to 600, and I was like, well, that's way better than I was thinking because I was thinking 800. And then I saw another pitch that said it was 1200 from another leak, which I think is not right. That seems too high. I think I read something where they projected the manufacturing cost to be about 430, you know, and then you got to scale it to like get those down. So I guess it really just depends on like how much Steam wants to profit versus like get ecosystems in front of people. There's something to be said too about going in too cheap and like losing perceived value because there's something with that too where it's like, well, if it costs that much, it's gonna be worse than this thing, you know.
yeah,
But I think if it comes in that sweet spot between like 6 and 800, it's kind of a no-brainer for a lot of people. Like we got set up in the new house here, and like my kids are want to play Valorant together, and my daughter's like, "Well, can I use your old Xbox One?" I'm like, "You can, but it doesn't play Valorant." She's like, "Well, can I use your old Switch?" I'm like, "You can, but it doesn't play Valorant." She's like, "Can I buy an Xbox?" I'm like, "You can, but that's going to cost us this much a month." So it's like, if this thing's like, let's say it's $600, and I can buy it and hook it up, and I don't have to pay online gaming service fees, and they can just get in and play all the free to play games they want to anyway, and it's kind of like no muss, no fuss from me. Like, that's pretty sweet, you know?
Right. And obviously Steam is all digital too, so they're making 30% on everything that is sold
Yep.
anyway to subsidize this stuff. So,
Yeah. It's it's got me really excited. I think it's got me more excited than the possibility of what next gen hardware will be from Sony or Xbox, which is presumably just PCs anyway. And the form factor on this is nice. Potentially the price can be nice. We'll just have to see. And the reason, like, I pre-ordered a Steam Deck when they became available, and I canceled it because I was like, I want this, but I own a Switch and it never leaves the dock. So to me, this is like you know, my dream of what I want with the Switch was a version that is just a brick. You know what I mean? That I don't have to carry
yeah.
around. So I don't need one. I've got a gaming PC, but for a house with a couple of kids who like to play games together, this is a good option. Potentially. Potentially.
And can you put Game Pass on it?
Oh.
I mean, are they going to allow that?
Yeah, can you,
I don't
like,
know.
I suppose, right? Like, in theory, you can dual boot.
Yeah.
So just get like a Windows 11, and why you would want to do that, I don't know.
Yeah. I am interested to see what Microsoft is doing because they are really focusing on like making a fork of Windows that is specifically for gaming.
Xbox, yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that
that's
could
what
be
this
really
is,
interesting to see.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited. If it comes out at a reasonable price point, I will probably get one of these like very early on next year. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't, it doesn't. Whatever. Like, I can just build my own custom like mini PC thing and give it to my kids to play the type of games they play on. But it's cool.
It is crazy that, the first hit that they have had in hardware with the Steam Deck, they're like, yeah, we're not making one of those. We're going to wait on that one. Like they're not cashing in on that upgrade yet,
Right. Right.
which
Yeah,
is
and
crazy.
that's the thing is like the Steam Deck is very much showing its age and processing power because so
Hmm.
this new Steam machine is supposedly 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck, which lets you know that like you know that software itself is pushing its limits as far as like what it's going to be able to do going forward outside of like indie games.
Yeah.
So they will they'll definitely do a revision of the Steam Deck once I think component costs hopefully come down in the future. I just think like this
That's
is
my
not the
thought.
time.
Right. I think if it wasn't for all the tariff business, they probably would have one announced by now
Yeah.
because it just seems like it's probably pushing it over the edge of being cost effective.
Yeah, I would agree. Because it's pretty well, it's priced pretty competitive. Oh, I can't even talk. Priced pretty competitively now with the OLED. Like, I think the thing is like six. Is that right? Six
Yeah.
or 650, and
Hmm.
nice OLED screen, decent amount of memory. So, I mean, that's
Yeah.
Switch prices. So,
Yep.
yeah, I'm interested. I'm very interested in this. So, kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah. And faceplates are coming back.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like the fact that it's just like a generic faceplate too. It's just like a square box because it's almost like, well, why would you buy a custom one? Because like it'd be so easy just to buy like a vinyl wrap of like anything you wanted and just like custom
Hmm.
wrap it yourself.
Yep.
So yeah, we're full on Xbox 360 mode again. So
Yep.
it's cool. Except without the red ring of death, I guess. Hopefully,
We'll see.
we'll have the blue bar of death, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did like how they really like said you could make how customizable that LED bar is. I'm like, okay, guys, this is a little
Right.
bit. This is too gamery, I think.
Yeah, I'm not tinkering with that. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, and then that like mock-up faceplate of like this is not an actual product to like show all your diagnostics and stuff. I'm like, yeah, somebody will get a RetroPie and like do something weird like that, and
Hmm.
it won't be me.
Yeah. Speaking of what else is happening in the gaming space
Yeah,
today, Fortnite and Unity announced a
saw that.
collaboration, which is crazy because those are basically the only two game engines that are out there on a mass scale, and
Yeah,
they're apparently working together.
all games will be within Fortnite pretty soon, is what we're saying.
Yeah, and I don't know if I quite understand that because you already have to have, well, Epic, right, is a launcher already on PC. So I'm not sure I quite get the whole like
Yeah,
purpose
is it
of
just like
having
a
them in.
compatibility mode or something that allows them to port games over easier from Unity? Or I suppose it's the Unity engine to bolster easy indie development, right? For like the ecosystem, but
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
guessing that's a lot of it is getting like some sort of development kit that you can do the Fortnite things in Unity then, right?
Yeah, that's got to be the driver because it seems to be like their focus, right? Like the Roblox model is what they want.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did read that too. It's pretty interesting. I'm
I'm
curious to
not
see
sure
where
what
that
Unity
goes.
gets out of it, but
I suppose licensing their engine maybe to
yeah, I
consumers,
guess.
but
But
yeah,
those are like those are the things, to get into make something in Fortnite. You wouldn't think you would need a full blown Unity thing for. I don't know. I mean, and why wouldn't you go on Unreal? I'm sure they have that stuff already at that point.
yeah,
So
that's true too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of past trying to understand what Fortnite is anymore.
hmm,
It's like an entire ecosystem.
yeah, and I have to wonder how many people actually use it other than the main modes. I mean, obviously, there's a lot
Right.
of creative stuff in there that people it goes crazy. But like even the other stuff that they've added, like the music stuff and racing stuff and Fall Guys and all that, like I just feel like it's a oh that was fun for a month,
Sure.
and then the Lego stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's kids in there using all that, but it's crazy amount of content that they're putting in there.
Yeah, it
And
seems
it's
like
like,
at some
well,
point
who's using it?
some of it just becomes lost, right? And like never rises to the surface. So
Yeah,
what's the point? You're just throwing it down the well.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is crazy what they're doing right now, though, with The Simpsons
I
having in
updated it
the
on my Switch too because I really want to play that at some point.
yeah
Did you
the
dive in?
entire map. Yes, I've played it a little bit. My son's played quite a bit, and it's interesting because it's the whole map is The Simpsons, and but it is like a Fortnite map, so there's very segregated sections. There's a nuclear power plant. There's the little neighborhood that The Simpsons house is in, or
Sure.
stuff like that. Mr. Burns' house,
Is the
but
monorail in
there.
there? Please tell me the monorail is in there.
Oh no, it's not. I don't think it
Oh
is, but you
no.
can get the song. You can get the song.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that is weird that they should have something like that in there. There are a decent amount of references in there that most Simpsons people get. It's funny because they're almost all like season 5 or before.
I mean, yeah, the
you
good
know?
ones, right? Like nobody cares about the stuff after.
Yep.
I heard they rebranded like the juice stuff, like to look like the Duff logo,
Yeah. So
whatever
it's
it's
like
called.
Slurp or
Yeah,
whatever. Yep.
Slurp. Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
So there's a Slurp man somewhere.
Yeah, there's a Slurp factory that you can go
Nice.
to. Yep. Yeah, it's interesting, and then it's funny because they have to work around skins always being the
Right.
same height, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would have an unfair advantage. So how do we get Bart in there? Well, he just has to have like an exoskeleton for some reason, right?
It's so weird. Yeah, I've heard that from a couple of people. Like that's the most jarring part is like you're casually running around like the world of the Simpsons, and all of a sudden like Goku flies in and starts like opening fire on you and stuff. It's like kind of world breaking. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is like the perfect crossover like platform. I mean, like it's nice that they would do like the nods to like the current cultural stuff, but it's like cool to see like a deep cut for like the 40 something crowd probably is who this is most aimed at. So
yeah. I wonder though if it is a big turnoff for the kids because I mean it is overwhelmingly
the
all
Simpsons,
Simpsons when the entire map is Simpsons and all you see is Simpsons and everything in it is Simpsons and all the skins in the store are that.
sure.
Kids, I mean, Simpsons are not relevant toward most kids playing Fortnite, so
They're not
I
relevant
wonder,
for most of us in our 40s. So
right? So I wonder if this is a big turnoff
yeah, I don't
for
know.
those. I don't know.
That's a good point. My kid's been playing it, so must not be too big of a turnoff. But it's I would imagine a lot of the references are 100% lost on them, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like one of them, one of the skins is like Ned Flanders in a ski suit, and it's like, who's gonna? Most people are like, why does he have skis on? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
The high definition ass cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been dying to play it. I just haven't found time. But I saw my update came through last night, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe this weekend I'll get into a game or two.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool. If you ask what it would take me to get back into Fortnite, apparently it's The Simpsons. So now, if we can at some point get Futurama, I'll be really happy.
Yeah. Well, they do. Well, I think the skins are in there for
Yeah, I
Futurama,
think you're right. I think I've seen
but
Zoidberg.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Um, what else we got? Oh, Mario Galaxy movie trailer. Did you catch that at all?
I didn't. I saw a little bit about Bowser Jr., but
Yeah, Bowser Jr.'s in there. Bowser's still tiny from the last movie. It looks
hmm
like. It's what you'd expect. They just beam off into space. You see a thing with Rosalina. It looks very much the same as what the last movie looked like. So I'd imagine their push, for Galaxy is just like the amount of more content and freedom it gives DreamWorks to just kind of go nuts with a lot of stuff instead of being confined to like the Mushroom Kingdom. So we'll see how carried away they get with it, I guess, is kind of my thinking.
I guess the disappointing part was they didn't do enough of the Mushroom Kingdom in the first one anyway.
Right.
I mean, they were there just a little bit, and then it was like, well, you got the real world, and then you had to go to Donkey Kong, and then you had to do this, and
Yeah.
So they didn't really spend a lot of time in normal Mario mode anyway.
Right. That's true. Yeah, I didn't even like. There was so much more they could have worked in, and other
It's almost
worlds they
like
could have tied into.
yeah, it's almost like they thought they maybe would only have one movie,
Yeah,
which
probably.
is an absurd thing to think about nowadays. Everybody plans that they're going to have five movies, but
Yeah.
because they did a lot in that movie.
I'm sure this is gonna be fine. Like, I'm sure it'll be just as good as the other one. I still say those Sonic movies trump what the Mario movie was, but that's just me.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. Because they're
Maybe
they're
not the
trying to be
first
an
one.
entertaining movie. I think
Yeah.
the other ones are yeah, I don't know.
Which that brings us to my last topic, and that was like the Game Awards and some of the stuff going on around that. Which I mean, say what you want about the Game Awards, I feel like they're an overblown non-barometer of like the actual gaming world. They're just pay for wins, or it feels very like Golden Globes ish, right? Like where it's all like an evil conglomerate running it. But that was one of the things that they noted was how Sonic 3 got completely snubbed for the best adaptation
Mm,
category.
mm,
And I saw the nominees list stuff, and It's what you'd expect. I do think they're gonna fuck Nintendo again though. Like Astrobot won Game of the Year last year, deservingly so. I haven't played every game on that list, but Donkey Kong Bonanza is a better platformer than even Astrobot, in my opinion. And you know that they're going to do it a huge disservice and just throw it in the best family games category that they invent just for Nintendo because they're fucks,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
bullshit. But then the other
Yeah.
news that came out was, did you see that thing on Megabonk?
Yeah. That he's like, I'm not going to accept it or something, right?
Yeah, he was like, not. The game was nominated for like best debut from an indie dev, and it was like, well, I made games under different dev studio names. This is my first game, so he like politely withdrew, which Keeley like retweeted, but like kind of muddied it more to make it seem like it was like almost nefarious a little bit. But
Hmm.
I'm kind of like, who cares? Like if that's the first studio name you've used and that's your first game from that studio, like go for it, dude. Like everybody's made games before their first game. You know what I mean?
Right. I think it's very, I mean, some version of a game,
Yes.
even the first thing you compiled to yourself to check is technically a game, right?
Uh
So,
huh.
like, I don't know.
It just seems
The
disappointing because
past
it's
winners haven't been like that, you know?
right, and so many fans were excited about it. So it's like I mean, good for him for doing it. Like I don't think it's the wrong choice, but I just guarantee you something probably more ridiculous and like maybe AAA backed to some extent will be taking it. So I don't know.
Right. Because to go far enough down the ladder to find somebody who has never released a commercial product before, and this was their first one, I
Yeah.
think the quality of those are going to be, I mean, you're not going to even heard of them, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna skip the Game Awards again. I think I stopped watching about whatever year it was that he like cried for like the hardship Kojima went through and like
hmm.
you know crawled his way with two broken ankles and his elbows through rice fields to develop Death Stranding. And I was just like, this is much. This is a
Oh,
bit much.
yeah. I'm sure he'll be back again this year.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm Death Stranding 2 or Clara Obscura seem like the obvious winners of Game of the
hmm.
Year.
Yep. Or Hollow Knight. I could see that.
Yeah, maybe. That'll get best debut from an indie dev.
Yeah. It's been long enough.
Yeah, yep.
People forgot.
It's a new game.
So MinMax, they did a stream where they watched the very first Spike TV Video Game Awards.
Oh, dude, those were so cringe.
Oh my gosh. It took me back to a place where I was embarrassed that I lived during that time.
Yeah.
It was incredible. You think that the early 2000s like culturally has not changed that much, but you watch something like that and you're like, "Oh, we've changed a lot."
Yeah. Was it worse than the Bic Man year even?
Oh, way worse. This was like very problematic. It was Madden won Game of the Year,
Oh, yeah,
whatever
that's
Madden that was here,
problematic.
and then David Spade was the host,
No way.
and the entire time it was just like, and this was these type of things don't these type of women don't uh, seem like they exist anymore. The type of like Pamela Anderson and like
Sure.
Carmen Electra, like they just show up just to be like, I'm the hot girl here, right?
Right.
And there was like one segment where like it was one of those girls and she like zipped down her top a little bit and showed a little bit of cleavage and then zipped it back up. And it was like that nonstop. And David Spade at one point says she needs to come back out there and keep doing that. Or it was just like, and then you go to a commercial break and it would be like Virgin Mobile selling a phone and it was just like a naked girl on a street just covering all her private parts with a tiny little phone. And then the next commercial would be like call to order VHS tape of the title of the VHS tapes was a bunch of naked girls. And it
Original.
was like, call this number to order your VHS tape, blah blah blah, and back to Spike TV Awards, and it was just like
What?
cheerleaders, just like they would go over to the table with the game developers, and all these cheerleaders would just blast confetti over them, and it's just like these nerdy like
Yeah, because that's what makes game developers feel comfortable. You know, they're not highly introverted or anything.
oh my gosh, it was incredible.
What year did that come out? Do you know?
I think it was like 2003 or 4 or
Oh,
something
wow, I
like
didn't
that.
realize it went back that far. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of that was Spike TV in general. If you
I mean, that
remember
was their
that
whole
era,
tone. Yeah,
it was a lot of
Mansers
that
and
stuff.
yeah,
Yes.
weird ways to die or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
huh. I might have to go watch that. It sounds awesome. Does that get us on the
Yeah,
staff
it's
picks?
yep.
You don't want to do a staff pick, or your staff pick is no thanks.
Yeah, I kind of figured that would be what we would be talking
Hard to
about.
pass
Yeah.
from Andy on the staff
Yep.
picks.
No
Not
thanks. I'm not
happening.
doing it this time. Not happening. No, it's a game, card game called No Thanks. Simple, very easy, but the type of game that you want to keep doing more rounds over and over and over again all night long. It's a card game with a deck of cards from 3 to 35. You want the lowest number possible, lowest score possible. So you put a card out, say it's a 35. Nobody wants a 35. That's a lot of points, right? Everybody starts with like 11 little poker chips. And you can, when it's your turn, you just say, no thanks. You put one of the chips in, go around the table until the pot is too good. And somebody takes the 35.
Sure.
And those chips count as negative points. So you count them up at the end of the round. Then you can minus all those chips that you have.
Sure.
So eventually, these high numbers start getting more and more appetizing because they're a net, a much smaller number at some point.
Right.
The interesting part about it is that if you get cards that are next to your other ones, if you make a run of cards, you only score the lowest number in your run. So if you ended up getting the 34 and the 33 and the 32,
Sure.
you're only going to get 32 points. But you're taking all these cards. But it's fun because you hose everybody else because, if you're sitting with a 35 and the 34 comes out, everybody's going to put chips on the 34, but doesn't bother you. In fact, it lowers your score. So it's a lot of fun of just like hosing everybody at the table of all their chips.
So there's some psychology then to like kind of
Right.
How many cards are you dealt to start with?
It's only you go through the deck one by one.
Oh,
So
okay. So you don't start out with like a base hand of like 4 or anything.
no, no.
Okay.
So it's whatever cards you end up taking from,
So you really got to be aware of what people are grabbing to piece together where they're at in their hands.
Yep,
Then.
yep, yep.
Okay.
They put it out in front of them so you can see.
Oh,
I guess
gotcha.
you
Okay.
could be diabolical and hide
Yeah,
them
I was
all
thinking
and
this was
have
like a
everybody
bluff
remember.
situation. Yeah,
But no, it's usually like the whole table knows that
you're gonna
that
take
asshole over there doesn't bother him, but he's making us pay all these tokens.
It's kind of funny.
And then there's some things that arise where I had a game where I was doing that, and then I didn't realize that somebody else didn't have any tokens left, so then they have to take the card.
Oh,
So like
so you
it
screwed
disrupts
yourself?
the whole plan. Yep.
Nice. That's funny. Yeah, it sounds
Super
pretty
simple
good.
game.
Yeah,
but
those are the
it's
best
fun.
sometimes.
Yep.
Sounds like a good one. Mine YouTube channel, In Deep Geek. Like in this whole moving process, I just like got into like I have all this time and I'm sitting up like waiting to get stuff done or like hear back from the realtors. So like I started watching like the Lord of the Rings over again, and then that led into I'm gonna watch a bunch of videos on Middle Earth and like the lore of the Lord of the Rings. And this is like, there's a bunch of channels, but like In Deep Geek is the one I've been watching a bunch. And he does like a lot of the like answering your questions on like how come Gollum didn't age after he lost the ring, and like, you know, it'll do a video explaining that like, well, in the book it explained it much differently, but in the conclusion of the trilogy they aged Bilbo in what seemed like a rapid amount of time, but really it was like a 3 year span, and like Gollum eventually would have aged, but he had the ring way longer, so the power is great, you know, and then like, you know, just stuff like, okay, where was the third elven ring? It turns out like Gandalf was in possession of like the Ring of Fire, the third elven ring, throughout the entire trilogy, and like
No.
only a couple of the people knew it. Like the like high elves knew, but like, and then they said like that also sort of explains why like Saruman was like poised against him even more, because like he became aware of it at some point, and yeah, it's just like a
Oh,
lot of like the good lore, and like I like the stuff more that like dives into like the Silmarillion and the other like works of Tolkien, where like you get some more of the lore on like Morgoth and like, you know, the Valar and like the old kingdom that created what you see in the Lord of the Rings, and like how Gandalf was actually like a fallen servant of like that old age, and like is incredibly powerful. And I don't know, it's cool like if you want more backstory. And I don't know, I still stand that the Lord of the Rings trilogy, as far as films go, will probably always go down as like the greatest like well executed written word to screenplay, that I don't think anyone's ever going to top that, at least not in my lifetime. So holds up.
yeah. I think so too. From straight like from the beginning to the end, it feels like a real journey, right?
Yeah.
You know, some people could say that, oh, the original Star Wars ones, but there's so many like kind of humps, and you can tell like how the tone of it changes so fast sometimes if you watch it
Right.
back to back,
And just like
that
that, it
you
wasn't a
know it
fully
wasn't
realized
like all
vision.
one thing.
Right. Because like the
Right,
fact,
yeah.
like the Princess Leia situation in general, like it was
Right.
clear he didn't have that whole thing fleshed out, right?
Yeah.
where you know, Peter Jackson had the benefit of like, this is a fully very well developed, very character developed story to rip from. You know, where George Lucas obviously had ideas, but they weren't on paper yet, right?
Right.
I mean,
And there is interesting because like you said, I mean there's a lot of other details in what is it, the Silmarillion or something like that,
yeah,
that other
that's it's
book like
like,
you said.
yeah, that's like the whole compendium of like otherworldly events and stuff.
Right. Which you can't really make a movie with that
Right.
type of stuff. You can adapt certain parts of it, which I'm sure they've
Mm-hmm.
done certain sections, but they can't flesh all of that out into a movie coherently.
Yeah.
After The Hobbit, I could see
I mean, we all
Peter
just
Jackson
pretend
trying, but
we all just pretend the Hobbit trilogy didn't exist. It's just better.
yeah.
Yeah, like there was one video too from this channel. I think it was this channel or maybe one of the other ones that got recommended, where they were talking about how like just even like the care and attention into the trilogy, to where like if they needed dialogue, they tried to rip it straight from the text. Like sometimes lines are taken out of the book that other characters said at one point, but were like repurposed to like go to a different character because it fit the canon and like the tone, and like that's an extra level of detail that most people wouldn't go to in something like that. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I saw a clip about like Robert Plant talking about how other bandmates in Led Zeppelin weren't aware that a lot of the lyrics were about Lord of the Rings, and they
Did
got
he?
pissed
Did
that it
they
was like
never read
nerdy
it?
stuff.
That was like, I think that was the moment, because like I never liked Led Zeppelin, and then I got into Lord of the Rings, and I was like, he just talked about like Gollum. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna listen to more Led Zeppelin. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't probably. I mean, it was a hugely popular book series back then when they were making those songs. But yeah, it's kind of like slipping a D&D reference in there in the '80s, I suppose.
Right. Yep.
It's funny. All right, should we get on to the weekend rental? All right, so the
Yeah.
weekend rental, of course, if you're not familiar, we pick a game for a given system, we'll play it, and Andy and I will give our opinions as to whether we would buy, rent, or burn that game. We're going with the Sega Genesis, and we're talking about Vector Man, a 1995 pretty late release for the Genesis, which, let's be honest, it is Sega's answer to Donkey Kong Country. That is what they tried to do. Whether or not they executed it as well, it's like taking the Donkey Kong Country art style and adapting it into like a Mega Man game of sorts, I guess. That's maybe a stretch
Yeah.
because it's nowhere near as good as Mega Man.
Yeah. The I don't know if they had a fully realized vision on how they wanted it to look, other than like, look what we can do
Yeah, it doesn't seem
on
like it.
some things.
It is like, hey, that's a cool effect. How do we use that?
Yeah, right. There must have been something along these lines in these early things. It's probably like an animation thing or something, that
Yeah.
like we had to make characters out of balls or something,
It
or
was very
limbs. I mean,
popular
like
for a while.
Rayman is kind of like that.
Yeah. I mean, there was
This,
literally a game on the Genesis and Super Nintendo called Balls. It
yeah,
was just
yeah,
balls fighting each other in a fighting game.
yeah. And even like that old Nintendo game, was it Joy
Oh,
Mac
yeah.
Fight? That was kind of that type of thing too.
Yep.
And it's got to be something along those lines, that it was too hard to animate or program the animation
Yep.
for sprites to do something like that.
But if they're floating orbs,
Donkey
you can do
Kong.
anything.
Yeah. Donkey Kong was such a, everything in that thing was pre-rendered pretty much, so it was easy to just move on to the next thing, the next animation frame or whatever.
And do you think there's some of that like 3D rendering stuff going on with some of these enemies in this game, or do you think it's just like clever sprite work?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, especially on him. I mean, the balls are going kind of all over the place sometimes. So
Yeah, that's true.
I think the part that really got me like hyped was shadows. Like when you go in the
Yeah,
in different parts of the shadows and the sun,
it
like
looks
it
really good.
affects his body. It's crazy.
And the caving, like the cave systems with like the water and like yeah, all of that looks gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I will say like I've tried to get into this game many times. I think I might have gotten further this playthrough than I have before, but like the one thing that always stands out is like the punishing difficulty.
Yeah.
So I immediately, before even starting this PlayStation or play session, went in and changed it to like the easiest one. And it's still like kind of a taxing game that demands you to like play a little slower and be more cautious because
Mm-hmm.
it's very inconsistent and weird in how it like gives you life replenishments. Like I feel like you will go huge amounts of distance in a stage, and then all of a sudden it'll give you like six of them, which makes
Yep.
no sense. And
Yeah.
then I
It's
inevitably forget that you need to blow up TVs as the bonus thing too for like the first three levels, and I was like, oh, like TV bonus. I didn't blow any of those up. Got it.
yeah, yeah. And that's where you get a lot of the bonus or transformations and stuff like that too,
Yeah.
out of the TVs.
Yep. Which are kind of neat, but like non-essential.
Yeah, and if they are, they're like, well, you turned into a bomb here, and this is the only place that you would expect to blow something up, so that
Yeah.
was why that was there, type of thing,
Or a motorcycle
which I
that
never
ran
find
through a wall.
great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit though about like the like fu this game throws at you in the front, right? So you get a normal, what I would consider Mega Man style level, which easy enough to beat. And then after beating that world, it immediately throws you into this Mode 7 pseudo 3D top down like minecart level with like
Well, they had to
zero
compete with Donkey Kong.
yeah, zero explanation, impossibly hard. With a rewind feature on a Switch, it's fine. And even like once you figure out what you're doing, it's fine. But I have to imagine
Yeah.
how many kids never made it past that. And then
Right.
immediately
To-
after that, it's like, Oh, we fucked you with that one. Let's throw you into everyone's favorite worlds in a game like this: water. Like, talk about putting your worst foot forward.
Yeah, it is funny because that was what I thought was like, oh, Minecraft minecarts, it's got to be Donkey Kong, and then
Yep.
the swimming levels. They also have very famous swimming levels in
Yep.
those games, and it very much seems like that type of, and because they're kind of maze-like too, right? In some
Yes.
regards, especially that third level is just go up basically. It's
Yeah.
the thing.
It is amazing, like, once you get past that stuff and get into the later levels, like, how much stuff they just really throw at you. Like you said, like the shading and shadowing, water effects, like vertical scrolling, like layer scrolling, like elevators in Minecraft or mine carts, and like
Yeah,
it's all really gorgeous. It's just it all feels. I feel like where Donkey Kong Country visually was spectacular, it also like did a really good. I mean, it doesn't have the best controls. It's slippery, but it had the controls to kind of match it. Where this feels like punishing in ways a lot of times just because of how slippery the controls are and how tight that zoom is on the character. Like
hmm,
it's you almost have to always be running firing your gun, I feel like, to make sure you don't take like a dumb hit from something that you're going to walk into off screen. And
I think
then
that was my biggest problem too. Was you are very zoomed in, and yeah,
yeah.
you can't see much off the screen.
Did you get to the enemy, the final boss that's like three little multicolored vectorman thing that like fuse together?
No, I got trapped. There was one guy who looked like a bulldozer,
Okay. Yeah, like a
and
skull
he
with
had
a
like,
bulldozer thing. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know how to get past him.
You just got to keep shooting
Really?
endlessly. Yeah.
I shot and shot, and I'm like, oh, something's not working here.
Yeah, eventually you blow his like bulldozer thing off, and then if you lure him towards you, you can jump over him, and
Okay.
that's how I got around him.
Huh.
But I got to an enemy like a final boss where it was like vector men who combined to make one big vector man, and I don't know if like I just didn't take him down fast enough, but then it would like he would do different forms, but then he would eventually fuse into like a humanoid version and walk towards the right or the left of the screen. And no matter what I did, once he hit the left side of the screen, it insta killed me, and that was the end of the
Oh,
fight.
jeez.
And then you come into the biggest glaring problem, in my opinion, with this game is that there are no mid-level checkpoints. If you
Hmm.
die in a level at any point, you go all the way back, which is
Yeah.
insane for a platformer in 1995. It makes no sense.
Yep.
That
And
is
then
padded
sometimes
difficulty.
sometimes it's just like, oh, you didn't do it fast enough. We have a timer on it,
Right.
so you didn't do it fast enough. So start over, try again.
Yeah, those are the things that didn't need to be added into an already what I would say is pretty challenging platformer. Those things just
Yeah.
there's no excuse for those in a game on that platform in that age. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, for how advanced it looks, and there's some gameplay that it's definitely advanced. The core stuff in it is really old. Yeah, like
Yeah,
no checkpoints. I think the fact that a lot of these like glowing stars are kind of like the main attractant of what you're trying to do, but it's just points. I mean, Donkey
yeah,
Kong had bananas, but they're not like this. This was just nuts
right.
with that type of stuff. So it's constantly in your face with those that it almost seems like that's the point of the game when it really doesn't matter, those things.
Yeah,
The TVs being the upgrades are a good idea, but they take way too many shots
hmm
to
consecutive shots too, because it's all like if you do two shots, it slows its rotation, and you're back to beginning, and that's weird.
yeah. It should just be, like a Sonic thing where you just or a Mario, you just hit a block and you got it and go.
Hmm
So, yeah, there's a lot of old style of type of design in this game, which is very conflicting to how it looks.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I've tried to get into this game many, many times, and it's just never really latched onto me. I think I appreciated it more this go around, and that might have been largely just because I was abusing the rewind feature when I needed to, which was mostly at
Mm-hmm.
bosses, because I felt like in almost every case I got to a boss with 2 hit points left, and it was just like that wasn't enough to learn a pattern. So it's like if I
Yeah,
was doing that just on original hardware and resetting each time, I would have just walked away long ago.
back to the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was with Sega kind of toward the end where they really ramped up difficulty on stuff. That
Hmm.
was like, these are the hard games.
Yeah, I think of like this and like Comic Zone and like kind of the same thing where it's
Hmm.
just like, God damn, what were you doing? Like,
Right. These are
games should be
awesome to look
fun
at and
too.
play. I want to see more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what do you think you'd give it on the Byron Burn scale?
You know, there's there's not quite enough to be uh, really put it in the buy category for me, I think. I want to like it. I think it's super cool how it looks. I like the attitude and the vibe that's got it's going on it.
Hmm.
When you the story is you are a basically a Wally,
Yeah, essentially. Right.
robot,
Yep.
and the first few levels you're going to the North Pole and killing polar bears. I don't think that was like that's what we should be doing to
They
save the world.
destroyed the
Anyway,
Earth, Andy.
anyway, I think I'm going to give it a rent. It's just a little bit too unforgiving for the type of playstyle that I want to see in this game. This is the type of game that is a marvel to look at, and I just want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll go with a rent as well. I think, if you'd asked me to do this before playing it again, I probably would have given it a burn. But I think I had a better experience with it this time than I have in previous attempts. And it is just it sets out what it wants to do as far as like being a spectacle and a showpiece, and I think that's really what the intention was behind it for the Genesis. And it accomplishes that, and it is cool, and it's a solid enough game. But yeah, it's just a little rough around the edges in key areas that hamper progression and fun at the end of the day. So I think Rent is where it needs to sit.
Yeah, I always had a problem with him being called Vector Man because I picture vectors as very sharp
Triangles, yeah,
things.
right. Me too.
Yes, and he's very round, but I understand that that's what big polygons are made out of is triangles, so that's
Sure.
probably what they were trying to go for.
Plus, Orb Man just doesn't sound as cool. Or Ball Man.
Uh,
Yeah.
I, did they made another one, but I think after
There's a
that they
two.
never did anything,
No,
right?
there was that one in development when they went third party that was supposed to come out for either the Xbox or the PS2. And there are early 3D screenshots of that, and they look atrocious. But that's as far as that
Huh.
went, I think. So,
Huh.
yeah.
I think you could make a nice 2.5D Vector Man, maybe.
Yeah, nowadays.
Hmm.
They'll never do it, but.
No,
Well, another one in the books.
that is. Um, you can reach us at weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us your stories about, I don't know, Vector Man, power washing. I want to hear, do you have a power washer
Mm.
and what you do with it? Because I enjoy power washing on a video game, less so with a real power washer. It's fun with a real power washer. It's just messier,
You get wet.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. And we're also on the Geekade Patreon with a exclusive podcast about different movies that we come across.
Mm-hmm.
Our last one was Drag Me to Hell, Sam Raimi classic. So if you want to listen to that, you got to join the Geekade Patreon. But that's going to do it this time. So be kind, rewind.